I had a couple conversations about this trip to Normandy with people, and I would tell them I'm going to assist 2 World War II veterans out to Normandy, and these people would look at me and they're like, oh, cool, what's Normandy? And I'm like, oh, man.
I think half my generation couldn't even tell you what years it was. So I think there is a disconnect, and especially even if you hear that World War II veterans are still alive, people are like, they have to be like 150 at this point.
Kids just don't know, and it's important for them to know what we came from and how our country was built, and a lot of kids just take it for granted.
These people have done something that shaped our lives to be, whether it's as good or as bad as you want it to be. I mean, that's where we live, and that's the people that did it for us.
Gene.
Yeah.
I need to do a sound test. If you can just say your first and last name.
If I can remember. Eugene Leo Kleindl.
All right.
Named after my dad, Leo.
My proper name is William G. Hunter, but I go by Bill. Well, I was born in Lake Forest. That's a suburb of Chicago. That was in 1923, 100 years and 6 months ago.
Over 9 days, these 4 young adults will accompany Gene and Bill as they retrace Gene's wartime footsteps through Western Europe. Joining them will be 3 medical staff, 2 trip coordinators, and a 2-person camera crew.
Magic Bill is aptly named. He's a world-class 100-year-old Navy World War II veteran, served in the South Pacific. And Bill is he found the fountain of youth. This guy is incredible. And then the other one that I had in mind all along is 101-year-old Army D-Day medic, Eugene Kleindl. He served as a medic during the D-Day invasion, June 6th and 7th. And then months later, he was still in Europe, went into the Battle of the Bulge through northern France and through Belgium and Luxembourg. And then after that, he was involved with 9 other battle campaigns. Plus, he liberated a Flossenburg Jewish concentration camp in Germany, all before his 22nd birthday.
He's been there before. Gene has been to Normandy before, but he's never been to where he was. He'll be able to put Gene on the spot that he was 80 years ago. And Gene gets to share that with Bill Hunter, who is even though Bill was in the Pacific, they're fellow World War II vets. And he gets to share that with someone his own age.
The Normandy trip is kind of a metaphor for hooking up the Generation Z with the greatest generation. These 4 are so mature beyond their years. They're going on this trip as representatives of their generation and their peers, but they have this rare window to where they can sit and experience history from the ones that lived it in color, especially with Gene. And, that window is coming shut fast.
Everywhere there's freedom, there's a footstep of an American soldier. And we truly get to go walk in the footsteps of them and not just have them read it out of a book. They get to see it, touch it, and hear it on the spot that it happened. And I don't think this has ever been done before with the current generation.
By the end of this trip, I will have learned so much more. I will have had so much more perspective.
Seeing how the people are welcoming in Europe to the veterans, I'm really excited about that.
I'm a visual learner, so seeing where this stuff happened is going to completely change my perspective on all of it.
So just to be there, I think it'll help bridge the gap between the generations and just show how important it really is to be able to obtain that information and keep it and share it with future generations.
I guess our hope is to show them that they're not forgotten. I want them to know that their service matters to this country and to the other countries that they served in. So I guess that's where it comes down to. We want them to know we say thank you.
Today, we get orders that something's about to happen. Aid station supplies are packed. Now we all speculate amongst ourselves where we might land. I wrote a final letter to Mother, so we all made ready our equipment for tomorrow when we make our landing. Lots of excitement again in the air. I visit my brother Cliff and we say our final goodbye. During the night, the convoy begins to move around 3:30 toward Normandy. Our ship, the Bienville, moves into position.
Gene Kleindl was a member of the 90th Infantry Division. He enlisted after his brother Clifford was drafted, not wanting him to go to war alone. The two of them landed on Utah Beach on June 8, 1944. The 358th Regiment of the 90th Infantry Division was the only unit in the Army that had a soldier in combat from D-Day all the way through to Victory in Europe Day in May of 1945. Bill served in the Pacific Theater of Operation and was a gunner aboard a merchant ship. He had friends who had served in the European Theater of Operation, but has never been to Normandy himself.
I was with a couple other guys. We were bowling at the State and Madison in Rockford when the news came out. Didn't expect anything like that, of course, and that's when I first heard about it. We were in that draft age. Well, looked like we're going to see some activity somewhere.
News wasn't quite like it is today. Turn on the TV and you get something immediately. But eventually, that evening, we'd heard that Pearl Harbor had been bombed. And of course, at that time, Pearl Harbor to me was unknown. I didn't even know where it was. Ben Carson, you know him?
Oh, Ben Carson. When did you meet him? That's not that long ago.
No, this is about 7-8 years ago. It was a convention in Nashville. He was the speaker and I was the entertainer. You're too young to remember David Hasselhoff. And
I remember David Hasselhoff.
Well, this is the guy who used to speak to the car in Knight Rider. He had a show called Knight Rider.
Yeah, he was the kid's voice.
We're getting ready to get on the bus. Look, see all the people around here? It's Emma from Australia.
I'm just so thrilled that you both get this experience. What do you want people at home to know?
It's great that we're teaching the young people that the history of the past and possibly some of these wars could be prevented.
There were a lot of heroes that came from this war, including two of these two veterans that we're going to bring out to Normandy. They were in some of the most hostile conditions known to man, and we're not really taught to honor their sacrifices. We're not really taught to also honor our country.
I was 5 years old when 9/11 happened. So like for my generation, that was the big thing. I don't even remember 9/11. So you learn about like what happened in history books, and I'm a big history buff, so I love researching that stuff. But if you're not, you understood it happened, and the evil that was caused during that time, but there is a disconnect.
History repeats itself, and you can kind of see it now today. It's slowly shifting, and I work in a high school now, and I see it even more so today. Like, kids just don't know.
There's so many lessons that can be learned from someone who's 100 years old. They have seen everything that I've seen so far and 80 years more.
Upon arriving in France, we met our tour guides and historians, Dylan and Flo, who planned our itinerary and would assist with translation.
In Normandy, when they're gonna see the hat, they're gonna, wow, you're gonna see a lot of kids coming saying thank you, and a lot of people in Normandy are very excited to meet you in June. You know, the last few years where the next generation gonna be able to meet and talk to you guys. So every opportunity is good.
June 6, 1944, Operation Overlord began, and the invasion of Normandy encompassed 5 beaches: Utah, Omaha, Sword, Juneau, and Gold. The Americans invaded Utah and Omaha. Jean landed with the 90th Infantry Division on Utah Beach.
Finally, as it becomes light, we know we are moving and can see the whole channel area. It is dotted with ships, landing crafts of all descriptions. All the medics are located on the top deck. At 11 a.m. or so, we stop and wait for our turn to depart from the ship. With all our equipment, go over the side and climb down the nets into the small craft below us. It then went toward the shore. After it stopped, I happened to be the first out, so I led the way.
For the first time in 79 years, Jean Kleindl returns to Utah Beach.
Low tide right now.
Yeah.
So when you landed on the beach, you were on a jeep or were you walking?
We got off the ship, climbed down the side, and then we were probably not about that far in the water. Only walked to shore.
All right.
Like I said, there was a pathway they had arranged. They hadn't checked the rest of the area, but it was safe to walk on the path. I looked up at the front. They were talking to some civilian, apparently from directions. Instead of going straight, we went that way. We were lost right there at the back.
Right at the beginning?
Right at the beginning.
I told you don't try.
And we ended up in a rendezvous place in the woods to get organized.
Even 79 years later, the people of Western Europe have not forgotten the sacrifices the Americans made for their liberation. Jean and Bill received a hero's welcome everywhere they went. Even in the French schools, the young children are taught the sacrifices made by the Americans.
De s'en sortir. Donc il a débarqué ici avec beaucoup de bandages, de la morphine. Ah bah lui c'est un militaire. Hein.
What?
Alors je vais montrer une photo de lui quand il est jeune. I think they don't realize that at one point you were young.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm an old grandpa now.
Ok.
Hello, thank you very much. God bless you.
Here we are. You see they put one for the merchant marines.
Bill remembered the fear of Japanese air raids and kamikaze attacks that often targeted their ships. The enemy frequently struck at night, making it difficult for the gunners to see the planes against the dark sky, with only the red tracer shells lighting up the air.
Life is like a journey on a train with a stranger seated at each window pane. I could sit beside you the whole day through, or sit elsewhere and never know you. But if fate should make me sit by your side, let's be pleasant travelers. Life is such a short ride.
To say Bill Hunter is a magician doesn't quite do him justice. Magic Bill, as he goes by professionally, has performed magic around the world for celebrities, politicians, and sports figures. Bill's love of magic and entertainment began in the most unusual place.
As I'm shuffling the deck.
Stop.
Okay, remember the card? Just slip it off with your finger. Okay, don't show it to me, show it to everybody else. And the doctor said to me, son, he said, you're going to the hospital. And I said, oh, I can't go to the hospital. I said, we're sailing tomorrow. He looked at me and said, did you hear what I said? You're going to the hospital, you've got malaria. Okay. Put your card back in the deck, and you get to shuffle. And it turned out one of the best things that ever happened to me, because it was where I met the great Steve Belois, the middleweight fighter from New York, who had a hobby of magic. Okay, fine. Anybody else like to shuffle the deck? You want to shuffle the deck? Yes. So he fanned the deck out and selected a card. He showed me a trick, and I thought it was pretty wild. And he ruffled my hair and he said, "See you tomorrow, Bill." So I gave one of my friends a quarter, I think. I said, "Hey, when you go to the PX, get me a deck of cards." A regular deck of cards. And you say stop anytime you wish, and we'll be right at your card.
Stop.
Good. Ta-da!
I'm sorry.
I didn't say it was your card, I just said ta-da! So one day, Steve happened to walk by and he see me trying to shuffle the cards, and he came over, he says, "Bill, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to do what you do, Steve." He said, "Oh, why would you want to do that?" I said, "Well, you make everybody laugh and enjoy your magic." He said, "Good answer, let me help you, Bill." Oh, give me another chance.
I will. Stop.
This one or that one?
Oh gosh. The one in your hand up there.
Ta-da!
No.
Oh, you know what? I got the instructions. I'll get this trick right. Hate to have to do this, but I will look at the instructions and we will get the. These aren't the instructions. This is the very latest newspaper.
Oh my goodness.
Is that the first
Oh my God, sir, that is so weird.
for you, Ken? No, look at it. I didn't say that.
Oh my gosh.
Everywhere we went, Magic Bill brought smiles and laughter. At the Normandy Victory Museum in Normandy, France, people came from all over Europe, including as far away as Czechoslovakia, just to get a picture and meet with these heroes.
Wait a minute, we don't shake like that. Grab hold. Now squeeze. If you don't, I'll do this. Ow! Squeeze it. That boy. You got it right. Okay, thank you.
Hi there.
Hi, Bill.
Gene was honored with his photo being a part of the Normandy Victory Museum's permanent display.
All of a sudden, I looked out. Here came 7 Germans that were hiding. They did not want to surrender to the infantry. They were looking for medics to surrender to. As they came around the corner, I stood by the window. I saw them coming. They came into the aid station and had their hands held up. They wanted to give up. The war was over for them.
True to form, Bill Hunter entertained with magic tricks for all, but especially the French children. The turnout was amazing. In true celebrity status, there's often standing room only, sometimes actually needing to turn people away. At the Normandy Victory Museum, it was a full house. Afterwards, they lined up, just to spend a moment with Bill and Jean. The Normandy American Cemetery and Memorial is one of the most moving and significant World War II sites in the world. It sits on a bluff overlooking Omaha Beach, one of the D-Day landing sites, June 6, 1944. The cemetery is the resting place of 9,388 Americans, most of whom lost their lives in the D-Day landings and subsequent operations. At the ceremony, Bill and Jean were accompanied by Jean Turcot, a French soldier during World War II who was captured and held as a prisoner of war in Germany. Together, they were honored during the evening flag-lowering ceremony, where each was presented with the colors.
We're presenting these flags that have flown over the Normandy American Cemetery to these are service members today, veterans of World War II. One who was a medic who landed on the beaches here on the 6th of June, and then the others who were in the Navy and did their wartime service in the Pacific. Thank you.
Among those buried are 45 pairs of brothers, 33 of them buried side by side, as well as a father and son. Jean's best friend is also here.
We were receiving about 150 casualties a day. I still feel bad. My buddy Ralph, who was only 18 years old, was killed. We shared a foxhole the day before.
Hey, Jean, would like to say something because a lot of people don't know who is Ralph.
Ralph was a good buddy of mine. We spent a lot of time together doing military activities and so forth. It was a big surprise when he passed on, and everyone still misses our old buddy Ralph.
Sand from Omaha Beach is gently rubbed into the name etched on the headstone, a gesture of respect and remembrance. 2 flags are placed before the grave, the American flag for the soldier's homeland, and the French flag for the country where he fell. Continuing in Jean's footsteps, we arrived at Chef du Pont, where the 358th Regiment of the 90th Division, including Jean Kleindl and his brother Clifford, crossed this exact bridge. The bridge had been secured by the 82nd Airborne and was crucial for allowing divisions landing on Utah Beach to cross and move inland.
We have many close calls as our life was rushed away many times. We are always under sniper fire. The Germans tied themselves to the trees, which made it difficult for us to determine if they were dead or alive. 1st Battalion of the 358th took Chef du Pont on the morning of June 10th. We also rescued a battalion of paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne, moved to Picaville, and we took the town in the AM.
From June 10th through June 12th, heavy fighting was around Point La Havre and Picaville. This is the battle where Jean's best friend Ralph was killed.
This town was absolutely destroyed in 1944 when the Allies bombarded from the coast. After the liberation of St. Mary-Église, it was liberated maybe 2 or 3 days later. This whole street that you see here was flattened. There were 2 houses left standing, and Eugene Kleindl was one of the people who was here being a stretcher bearer. There was a field hospital here, but nobody quite knows where it was. So obviously it took a lot for the town to rebuild itself, as with many towns and villages around here after the war. There are 2 charities based locally who really want to keep that memory alive and never want to forget what the Americans did for the French.
The whole town came out to welcome Jean and Bill, including the mayor.
Rush now was to Point La Havre, but there was fierce resistance today. Someone opened fire near the hedgerows. As it got dark, we dug our foxholes or slit trenches. Our hands became very sore by now. Later, we moved through the dark woods into a small village to encounter a group of happy French people who were now freed.
It's an honor, to receive the veterans, and for the sacrifice of their life, for our freedom, for us, for my mother, for my uncle who lived this period. It's very important. And today, I'm very proud to see my daughter to honor, remember the veterans and the sacrifice of this young guy, because it's very important to say, never forget. Today, never forget love.
I think it's important. I mean, I'm in the new generation now, and I think it's beautiful to have veterans who can still, or were still able to come visit us and to pass the message to the new generation and keep going with this, with our association to commemorate everything and what happened and never forget what happened. So that's why it's really important today to have them with us.
In 7 days of brutal combat near La Haye-du-Puy, there were thousands of casualties, fighting for control of the surrounding hills. This was one of the most epic and bloody battles after D-Day. There were so many bodies that they were stacked against the wall to be guarded. On July 7th, Jean, who had just celebrated his 22nd birthday 2 weeks earlier, was thrust into the heart of it. The average life expectancy of a replacement soldier at Hill 122 was 1 day. The building where Jean's unit set up a makeshift aid station still stands today. We were accompanied by Vincent Aurier, a battlefield tour guide specializing in the 90th Infantry Division.
Hill 122. In a town at the bottom of the hill, we set up our aid station in a vacant house. It was at this location that the report, "The Stars and Stripes," was written up. In the aid station, I was standing by a window, just looking out, when I noticed a white flag and Germans moving very carefully toward our house as they saw our flag. Germans felt it more safe to give up to medics, so seeing our Red Cross flag brought them all to us. So we alerted the riflemen, who took them into custody to the cage.
Before leaving, we visited the stream where the group of Germans came to surrender. The Battle of July 22nd and 23rd, 1944, at Sèvres Island was catastrophic for the 358th Regiment of the 90th Infantry Division. Nearly 100 soldiers killed or missing, 400 wounded, and 200 prisoners. Jean's brother was wounded at this site. One remarkable moment during this brutal war was a 3-hour truce for both sides to evacuate the wounded. Afterward, the battle resumed. Jean recounts this battle with remarkable detail.
Shortly after, 250 men and 4 officers had surrendered. Men told to give up or run. So Brother Cliff ran, wading through the water, and finally on ground it was there an artillery shell had exploded and struck him, snapping his rifle in his head, knocking him out. My buddy Alex found him. So I checked the medical data on Cliff. Reports said he'd be okay after care. I did not tell Mother about his injury, but still worried, yet felt glad he was off the line. Due to a high number of casualties and wounded, the chaplains were able to arrange a ceasefire for 3 hours under German guns to pick up the dead and wounded. This was our only known truce, but had heard of others. Then the war proceeded. German friend told me that his General von Haidt ordered him to hold, while other German soldiers fell back to safety.
So the picture right here was taken on July 23rd, so one day after his brother was wounded. And on the picture you can see the 2 chaplains, American chaplain that ordered the break, the 3 hours break. So that was taken right on the back of the front line.
But I have just one.
Our next stop was Perrier, Normandy, a town liberated by the 90th Division in July of 1944, where a welcome party was waiting.
We do reenacting for the young boy who died to liberate our country and fight for the liberty.
It's a great pleasure because we have all of us have family in the World War. All of us was born in a little city like this one. We have grandparents who told us the history of the war.
Our history.
Yeah, we have connection. Yeah.
If he haven't D-Day, I don't know where we was. Où est-ce qu'on serait?
Where we were.
Where you would be?
Where we
Where, yeah, we will be.
Thank you. And
maybe German.
Maybe German. I don't know. For this history.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now it's my turn to explain for the young boys
and young girls what it happened here. And
Pour pas oublier. For not forgotten.
never forget.
Although neither Jean nor Bill fought in Bastogne, they were honored for their service. Bastogne was the site of one of the most legendary stands in American military history. In December 1944, during Hitler's last desperate offensive, American forces were surrounded in this small Belgian town that controlled 7 vital road junctions. The besieged troops held out until General Patton's Third Army broke through on December 26th, helping ensure Hitler's final gamble would fail.
Step up here. There you go.
See, I'm at an announcement.
Okay. All right.
Locals were often just as interested in Bill's story, sometimes even more so, being less familiar with the Pacific Theater.
Because we know at the end of the war, we're gonna hear about the concentration camp, the Nazi, what they did, you know. But in 1940, 41, nobody knew about those things. I mean, you guys didn't know, so why should you want to serve?
Well, I thought it would be a great opportunity, especially to get in the Navy and see the world. And, well, I got to see half of it. I didn't see this half over here. I was in the South Pacific most of the time, but I don't know, you're maybe young and foolish, but I couldn't wait to get in the fight.
My brother and I joined together. He was going to be drafted, as I said, and we had a third brother that had a little problem with his heart, and so he could not become a possible soldier, but everybody was in the service one way or other. Your parents would put a big picture they had at that time, a star for each son that was in the service. My mother had 2 stars.
Even in Belgium, there was standing room only as people lined up to meet and get photos with Jean and Bill. Foxholes can still be seen in Bulge near Bastogne, one of the key sites of the Battle of the Bulge. It was here that the 101st Airborne held the line through fierce fighting, enduring sub-zero temperatures and more than 2 feet of snow during what was then the coldest winter on record. On December 17, 1944, a U.S. Army convoy from the 285th Field Artillery Observation Battalion encountered an elite Waffen-SS unit near Normandy, Belgium. Outgunned, 113 American soldiers surrendered and were herded into a field. Without warning, the SS troops opened fire with machine guns, then executed anyone still alive. 84 Americans were killed in what became the largest single mass execution of U.S. troops in Europe during World War II. Those responsible stood trial in 1946 for war crimes. Although 46 SS soldiers were sentenced to death, none were executed, and by 1956, all had been released from prison. On that same day, another, lesser-known but horrific massacre took place when 11 African-American soldiers from the segregated 333rd Field Artillery Battalion sought shelter in a house in Wereth, Belgium. German SS troops soon captured the unarmed men and brutally tortured and executed them in a nearby pasture. The SS soldiers were never punished for this war crime. This massacre is known as the Wereth Massacre and is remembered by this single monument. It stands as the only memorial in Europe dedicated to the service and sacrifice of African American soldiers of World War II. The Honoré Chapelle American Cemetery in Belgium is where 7,992 American servicemen rest on 57 acres of rolling countryside. Most died during the Battle of the Bulge and the advance into Germany. Here, 7 of those from the Wereth Massacre, the African American soldiers massacred during the Battle of the Bulge, are buried. The other 4 were returned to their families in the United States.
So this grave, one of Val's friend's uncles. We were out here this past May, and she said my uncle's buried there. She's never met him. He's from Winnebago, Illinois, in our hometown. He's 20 years old. He was killed, according to Florence Research, just in the woods east of Schoenberg, the town central of Schoenberg. He was shot in the back twice. This is a local kid.
On a rainy day in Burlay, Luxembourg, we met with Thomas Barrett, the U.S. ambassador to Luxembourg. This small village held special significance. It was here that Jean Kleindl's company helped liberate the town during their push through Luxembourg in 1945. Standing on the same ground where Jean once fought, we are honored to have Ambassador Barrett join us to commemorate the sacrifice and courage of those soldiers, connecting past and present that meant so much to those who brought it freedom.
My wife and I are here, and we live at the embassy, at the residence. And this is about a year ago. My wife was out just taking a walk, and she met a woman who's about 85 years old. And she lives in the same house that she lived in 1944. And she said that at that time, that she and her sister had to have a suitcase packed because it was not unheard of that a Nazi soldier would come and say, "We're taking you home." The week of September, roughly September 9th, 10th came, and some Nazi soldiers came to their door and asked for bicycles because they were on their way back to Germany. Her father said they didn't have any bicycles, and so they left. Then the city got eerily quiet. And the next sound you heard was the clang, clang, clang of American tanks that were coming up the hill to free the city. And as she was telling me this, I was getting goosebumps because she's talking about how the Americans saved Luxembourg. Who's going to tell this story 10 years from now, 20 years and 25 years? Who's going to tell the story? So again, I thank you for all of you for being here, because this is important. It is important that we honor those who serve, and it's important that we remember and teach generations in the future.
I feel it's really impossible to put into words the gratitude that we owe all of the soldiers of World War II. Being in Normandy really made the sacrifice of these soldiers sink in. It honestly felt like stepping straight into history. Being with these two incredible men who served on opposite sides of the world but fought for the same cause, you could feel their experiences in a way that reading about it just can't capture. And it's something that none of us will ever forget.
Every stop that we had, there was tons of people that came out just to say thank you to Jean and to Bill. That's the one thing that really stood out to me. In America, we're thankful for them, but we don't have that impact that this happened in their country. And like when you go to the cemetery, how young the kids were. They were 18, 19, 20-year-olds being sent off. Like, this is the first time leaving their small towns. They're like, go fight for your country. How can you express in words how thankful you are to these people that went over, besides saying those words, thank you, but I just don't think that means enough.
After going through this trip, you really get a feel for what these people actually did go through. 18 years old, 20 years old, kids, younger than me, they gave everything. If this happened today, it could be me. Or if it happened in the future, it could be my kids. The experience of this trip has made me profoundly grateful, and realizing that all of the liberties and experiences that we're able to have today are because of these now 100-year-old men that gave everything.